I feel stupid for doing this, but I kind of feel like I need to not give myself a choice because I need to do it because I want to do it. But I don't know. I gotta put something out there. I'm just gonna get into it. Like, I feel like ever since Stranger Things came out, like, what? Like a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, but like, it came out a while ago. It's probably, I was maybe in elementary school. I know second season came out when I was in middle school, but yeah, around late elementary school or middle school. Anyway, I didn't watch it until I want to say until the third season came out is when I watched it. And I promise I'm getting to a point with this, but I didn't watch it until the third season came out, and I had went to my cousin's house to go watch it because she wanted to watch it with somebody. So, because I was a little bit of a scaredy cat kid, I didn't like spooky stuff like that, so I was like, oh, I don't know. And plus, I don't know, I have this weird aversion to like watching new shows. Like, if I haven't seen the show before, if I don't have incentive to watch it, I'm not watching it. But I went to watch it with her, and I absolutely loved it. And I waited for the next season to come out. I was super excited when it came out. And that was season 4. And now I'm 16, and season 5 came out. And I hadn't watched Stranger Things for maybe 3 years. Like, it's been a minute. I don't quote me on the time period, but it's been a while. And I didn't realize subconsciously there's so many things that I took from from Stranger Things, not as lessons, just as things that I kind of want in my life. And it sounds stupid, but it's true. Like, I don't know. I feel like that friend group dynamic is so special and amazing in my eyes that I'm just like amazed by it, honestly. And it's really beautiful to me to like see that. And I know it's sci-fi fantasy, but to me it's like, you know, the 80s, kids had freedom, kids, you know, being nerds, being bullied for being nerds, playing D&D, doing stuff like that, like nerdy stuff, and just having fun and being free. Especially, like, I don't know, like, I love the setting of it. Hawkins, it's a very foresty town, kind of gloomy. It's my vibe. So Twilight. But yeah, I've been catching myself, like, ever since the season came out, like, I'm like not fantasizing, but like sometimes like I'm wishing my life was just, not wishing, but like I'm seeing my life as like, oh, like I want to have a friend group dynamic like that, where it's close-knit friend group, it's diverse, it's fun, it's funny, it's, you know, tight-knit. Like, I've always wanted that. Like, forever I've wanted that. And I loved the music in it. I don't know why, because now I'm of that time period and so forth. Like, that is my playlist on repeat. I don't know why, but it's funny because I thought to myself, I want to, how do you say it? Like, I want to have a friend group dynamic like that. I want to be a kid while I still can. I mean, I'm turning 17 in a month, but like, I want to have my opportunity at that fun, at that like freedom, you know? And again, I know it's fantasy, I know it's not real, but it's like, this idea of it just seems so fun, and it's like magnetic. And I'm just like, God, like, I really want that. But I was sitting here and I was thinking to myself, like, I think I have to be a little bit more immature to get something like that. Because I feel like my whole life, and especially in this current season of my life, it's like the universe is forcing me to, I've been forced from an early age to be mature, be grown up, all of that. And right now I feel like I'm being kind of launched into adulthood a little earlier than I expected, because of life and people and things out of my control. And I was thinking, like, that kind of childhood freedom and fun and nerdiness that I want to have with a diverse group of people, like a diverse group of people who's also like-minded. Because I feel like I did have a friend group for a period of time when I was in a very vulnerable, unhappy position in my life a few months ago. And, you know, new people entered my life, and I saw the red flags, but I didn't do anything about the red flags. And most of them weren't bad people. They just made bad decisions that put themselves in a very bad position, and I didn't want to be a part of it. But I did have that freedom and that fun for a minute, but from my own crap, I feel like because I had that freedom that kind of caused my family dynamic and one specific person's part to, I want to say, it caused some area of, like, I'm trying to put the words together because it's in my head, but it caused for me a lot of issues at home with that freedom and that influence. And I didn't do anything bad, you know. People say you are who your friends are, but you are what your behaviors are and what your decisions are, more than the people you're surrounded. Well, yeah, I'd say more. Where I'm at right now, I think more. But I don't know. I'm starting to realize what that situation really was. It was isolation. Yeah. It was definitely a mode of isolation. I mean, I think it was definitely isolation, but it was definitely, I don't want to say it was guised as support, but I do want to say that there was a lot of conflictions that I really can't say, like, pinpoint exactly what it was that was causing those issues in my home life from friend group, from said friend group, from all of those things. And I don't know, like, I feel like if I want that kind of 80s freedom, I need this kind of immaturity almost to have it, or to get it, so to speak. But it's like my whole life I've been so forced to be mature. And again, especially in the season of my life right now, I'm being like launched into adulthood way faster than I wanted to. And I'm almost, it's like a choice but not a choice, because I think what I'm starting to realize is you need to start making decisions not only based on your circumstances, but based on what's best for you and the peace of your life. Because I think a concept that I saw frequently in my household, but I also was kind of definitely conveyed to me through my childhood, is it's better to, which I don't agree with now, but it's better to kind of put up with people's crap rather than, how do you say? It's better to put up with people's crap and lots of words. But it's definitely better to put up, it's better to put up with people's crap and have a semi-decent, peaceful lifestyle or situation, and kind of finesse situations to go your way, instead of doing the hard choice like moving out or doing this or cutting someone off, or which I've learned is not true. I think in certain situations, do what you have to do for a temporary period of time. And if that means finessing a situation for the betterment of yourself, your kids, whatever, do that temporarily. But there comes a certain point where self-respect comes into play, but not just self-respect, it's also it's self-respect, but also doing things for your peace of mind. Because when you're trying to finesse a situation over and over and make it go your way and doing this, that's so mentally and emotionally exhausting, especially when it involves other people that are causing that are depriving you of your mental health stability, emotional stability. And the longer you try and finesse situations and exhaust yourself, the more harm it'll do to you in the long run, rather than if you're just doing what you have to do for the moment and then preparing for when you're ready to take the next step to say no. That's healthier than just finessing your whole life. And I think that's where I'm at right now, is I'm not trying to, I can't be fake. I don't say that to be oh, I'm not a faker. No, I don't know how to be fake to someone. And it's funny because I think that's been such a reoccurring thing in my life, where it's oh, well, you should be a little fake, or you should be a little fake, but if you're going to be around these people, but you're in a bad mood, or you're feeling like this, you need to act like you're not in a bad mood because you don't want these people to think a certain way. Since I was a kid, I didn't care what you think. If I was feeling a certain way, I was feeling a certain way. You take that personal, that's on you. That has always been my mindset from day one, because it's not my job to reassure you that, you're taking things personal because a child's upset at something that has nothing to do with you. That's insecurity. That's complete, that's just weird to me. And I don't know. Sometimes I wonder what my life would be like if I didn't have to be so mature so young. because I feel like I've been an adult for a long time. I feel like I'm still an adult right now. And I just wonder, like, what my life would look like if I could have the mind of a child instead of the mind of an adult. But then I think about it and I'm like, what is God preparing me for? Like, because yes, I'm not going to go into it, but yes, I've been through trauma as a kid. I've been through a lot of mental and emotional abuse and turmoil, which is what caused the maturity at a young age. But like, I was getting to a point with that. But yeah, like, oh yeah, like what is this preparation prepping me for? Like, not what's the point, but what's the end game that I'm not seeing? And I feel like I'm in a learning stage of my life where I'm learning that my gut is everything. Like, my gut is absolutely everything to me, because for so long I've been stuck in this cycle of people pleasing, like people pleasing my mom, my dad, my family. I'm the oldest child of the family. Like, oh, you need to get good grades, you need to be like this, you need to say hi, you need to speak a certain way, you need to act a certain way, you need to come off a certain way, you need that. There's so many little things and big things that I need to be and not be in order to be considered acceptable or even exceptional. And for the longest time, it was so important to me that I got that like validation from my family, because it made me feel worthy of my family. But as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize that it doesn't matter. Like, I got this off social media a few years ago. Not a few years ago, I think maybe about a year ago, year and a half. And it's been in my head of I'm gonna butcher her name, Tam Kouar or if you know anything about like, not self-help, but like growth and like anything like that, Leo Skepi, Wizard Liz, Tam, all of these people, really amazing people that I've learned a lot from. And that's another thing that I will probably talk about in a separate little video thing, is using social media to your advantage intelligently using social media. Because to me, the thing that I learned was, the only person's opinion of you that matters or that is correct is yours. Again, I like got it from someone else. It's not from me, but I'll try and add her in somehow. But that's really stuck with me for a minute now. And now that I'm at this point where career and big life decisions are kind of coming at me, I'm kind of having a awakening of like things are getting real, like things are happening. And that's like circling back into like my gut. Like, I'm starting to realize that everyone else's opinion and advice and all of this stuff is just noise. It is straight noise. Like, it's to the point where, like, for me, from what I'm experiencing, is so many people are coming at me with these different opinions, same opinions, what they think I should do, what they think I shouldn't do, how they think I should go about things, the thought process I should have. And I appreciate it because Insight Seminars, all feedback is good feedback. But what about my feedback? What is my gut telling me, my intuition? Because at the end of the day, none of these people are going to matter, and they're just not going to matter because they're not going to be living my life. Even like my mom, like I'm to the point where like her opinion, her advice is just, I'm just like, okay, like I've had enough, because it's not her specifically, it's just the advice of, oh, you should do this, oh, this is a great opportunity, or these things. Like, I know what opportunities, I'm not trying to be like arrogant. And that's another thing. Confidence and arrogance, there's a line between the two to differentiate the two, but a lot of times arrogance and confidence gets confused, because with confidence, you're upholding your values, your morals, and your boundaries. And people think that that's arrogant sometimes because you're actually upholding to what you believe in and what you put yourself towards. And some people see that as arrogant, but it's not arrogant. It's just confidence and self-respect. And actually taking action upon your self-worth, proving your self-worth to yourself, and protecting yourself. And yeah, I just feel like, I don't know. There's a lot of things, but there's a lot of things that I want that I wonder if, how, when, like with the 80s thing, with these life decisions, but it's just following my gut. And oh, there's this quote that I heard the other day on Instagram. It was this snippet of this podcast. I don't know who the speaker was, but she said, overthinking is you ignoring your intuition. That struck me. Anytime you overthink is when you are ignoring your intuition and your innate ability to guide yourself, like not even like just based off instinct, but off of like spiritually, of like where you should go and like energetically and what you should do, and even the people you should be around. Like, because like another thing, I'm telling you, when you use social media to your advantage for the best of your ability, it's amazing. It's beautiful, because you learn so much that honestly helps you grow. And another little side note to myself to mention at another time, there's a difference between mental health and self-growth. There's a very big difference, and I think people are starting to confuse the two, and I think there needs to be a line. Not a line, because there are a lot of times they're very much correlated, but I think when we're talking about certain subjects in certain areas, there is a difference that sometimes isn't made clear to people, that I think, maybe could be a little bit more clear. But I don't know, I'm learning right now, and I think I'm learning to be alone securely, without having crushes, without talking to a guy, without wondering if a guy likes me, without, all of these things. And it's not that I don't crush, believe me, I crush, but it's like I used to, like when I was a kid, like from kindergarten all the way up till like now, I've always been the person to fantasize about romance and love and getting a husband and being married and having a boyfriend and blah, 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 blah. I've only ever had one boyfriend, and he always, like, it was a middle school thing, so long time ago. But I I'm starting to realize that all of that is just noise too. Because I didn't have really a secure attachment to my dad where I felt validated, you know, like, oh, like, daddy's little girl was not me. My dad treated me like I was his son, 100%. I was not treated like I was a cute little girl. Like, I think maybe, like, when I was younger, for a certain period, but it's still, like, emotionally, it wasn't there. Like, I was treated more as a project than as a daughter, especially from my father. And there's so many little things that happened and that, you know, was done that led to that, but it's another story. But I definitely think that, you know, I'm kind of dropping the whole romance thing because there's so many things that my life kind of, I want to get straight, like, because I don't come from money, like I'm on benefits and stuff, been on benefits, like I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with my dad, stepmom, grandma, and 2 dogs for 10 years of my life. And that was just, like, it wasn't a bad life. Like, honestly, like, as a kid, it didn't really matter too much because I knew that we didn't really have enough to afford a different lifestyle. Now I'm kind of having speculations about the truth of financially of that, but I understood it, so I never tried pushing for, I want this, I want that. I was very aware as a kid. So yeah, I just, like, I'm starting to realize, like, I need to trust my gut in the decisions that I'm making for my life and for myself. And trusting my gut is so important because for any kind of career path, even outside of career paths, for the people I'm deciding to be around, for, you know, and I don't want to overanalyze people because that's a habit I tend to have, but, like, you know, just picking up, like, reading their energy. Like, do I want to be around these people? Do they make me feel better about myself? Do they make me feel like a better person? Do they make me want to grow as a person? And are they someone that I admire, not to be like, but that inspire me? And that's something that's really important to me that I'm starting to learn. And I'm starting to learn, like, just so many things, like where I want to be in my life, who I want to be around, the things I want to do, like, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like romance is a little bit of noise, and it's not something I want to focus on anymore. I still have my celebrity crushes, don't get me wrong. Like, if Steve Harrington were real, or, but, you know, just a girl at the end of the day. But I don't know. I think sharing my journey is going to help me feel not so alone in it. And I think that's what I want to do. Just share my journey. And it's not even share my journey as a teen growing into adulthood, no. But it's just sharing my journey in life. Because I feel like everyone can learn from each other. Like, absolutely everyone. And it's such a beautiful thing when we can learn from each other, because we learn who we are, what we want, and a lot of identity. Like, learning about who you are and who you want to become, and actually becoming that and embodying it is such a powerful and important thing on the path to getting you to where you want to go. So, yeah, it's my little spiel. But hopefully you can join me on this little roller coaster ride of life. Yeah.